High dry?
Yeah, we had to canoe out of our house.
In Marlboro, and I just want to thank you folks before I just say a few words about what I know and answer questions so that you know what we need. Let me just start by saying how proud I am to be governor and what you have seen in Marlboro. Hundreds and hundreds of acts of selflessness, of generosity, of reaching out to neighbors, of taking care of each other, only in Vermont. When you see the kind of work that select boards are doing across the state, I want to give special thanks to Lucy, to Craig, to Andrea for their extraordinary work, for everything you do. Representative Eric, who's been really, I think he has more accounts hit than any representative in state government. I don't know if it's just bad luck or bad planning, but thank you for everything you're doing. We appreciate it. But the real thanks goes to all of you. I have never seen anything like this. I have seen more acts of generosity and bravery and courage in the last 4 days than I have seen in my entire life. And just to put this all in perspective for a minute, I just want to share a couple of videos that happened within a few hours of each other. Because I've been on the road trying to visit as many communities as we can literally get into in Tropical to answer questions and give some people some hope. Let me just first say, we're going to be okay. Vermont's going to get through this. There is no question in my mind that this is the worst storm that Vermont has ever experienced. And if you don't believe me, go up to Wilmington, look at the police station. I remember as a kid, it is always said, storm level of 1927, and there's a 38.
38. 38.
38. Lucy didn't tell you. Can't keep the number. 1938. And we beat that by about a foot and a half. So I do think it's the worst storm we've ever seen. Having said that, the way that people have responded is what we're all about. And when you see from road crews to line workers, we're now down to only 1,600 people at power. We started with 70,000. We thought it would take months, it's taken us days. When you see anyone who owns a bulldozer or a loader or a dump truck out there, as they are on Route 9 right now coming up, out there digging out, giving back. When you see the Brattleboro crew coming up Ames Hill, trying to get that opened up, because we know it's the artery and every other town around. When you see neighbors who are hurt reaching out to other neighbors, you know why we live in Vermont. I was up in the little town of Piston, and they have had, like so many communities in Union County, 10 or 11 houses that just washed into the river. And a woman came up to me just 2 days ago with tears rolling down her cheeks. I gave her a big hug. And she said, "Governor, I lost my house. I lost everything that I had. But I knew that this town was tight before this happened. But now we're like family. And that means more to me than losing my house." I went just 3 miles by chopper up the hill to Rochester. And you fly in and there's literally caskets of former townspeople scattered around the riverbed. There's houses washed in the brooks. And you come into the town green, and a couple of guys, Chris and Bob, bought a little inn in Rochester. The name it knows Rochester is right in the center of the green. And there's the whole community having their third lunch and dinner, having to be dinner together. Emptying out their freezers because the power's off, bringing the food up to the end where they got a grass grill hooked up and a generator. And the entire community is sitting there, and it was like an August picnic in Rochester. You never knew it happened. I go just over the hill again, and this is the most extraordinary story that reminds you of how lucky we are. And there's a guy named Tommy, born and raised in Vermont. He lost his brother to an accident 2 years ago. So there's 3 boys, mom and dad. His dad worked for the water system for the city of Rock. They get their water from Menlo. His dad and his younger brother went up during the heart of the storm to make sure that the pump station was still working, so that even though we were getting a little storm going through, they thought at the time, Rutland would still have water. So they go out in the heart of the storm. They're up on the bank, we believe. So far, we've taken the dad out, and we're looking for Tommy's brother. And I said, how do you do this? He's been up there every single day, looking for his brother and working his job. I said, how do you get up in the morning and do this? How can you have that smile on your face? He literally was just pushing ahead. He said, Governor, I only care about one thing right now. I want to find my brother so that I can bury him next to my father. And right there, all the rest of it came into perspective. We're going to rebuild the roads. We're going to put the schools back. We'll rebuild the firehouses. We'll put back the homes. And I just feel blessed that we didn't have more people like Tommy looking for his brother and his dad out of the world. That's a tribute to all of you. Emergency management, the folks who worked so hard to get us where we are right now. So the question is, okay, so now where do we go? A lot of folks are down. It's starting to sink in that this is going to be a long haul. First, I want to tell you that the president, from the day that this struck us, has been nothing short of extraordinary. He's been on the phone to me. He's had his team on the phone to me. We sent down the first request for emergency aid yesterday. He turned it around in 5 hours, told us that we were going to qualify for all the assistance that we need to help us rebuild. So what does that mean? For Marlboro, for Halifax, for towns in this county, it means that they have granted us public emergency assistance status. What that means is that they're going to provide us 70% match, 90% for flood coverage cleanup, and 70% for rebuilding. To rebuild our roads and bridges, any public building, including equipment, fire equipment. I know Wilmington, they lost a ton of fire equipment up there. So it applies to equipment, it applies to buildings, it applies to anything that is owned by the public. 70% match, 75% match for those funds. That's a huge help to us. Because as you know, we're about to shut down our asphalt plants here around Thanksgiving. That's what we do in Vermont. So we're going to have engineers in here helping you plan, helping you design. We've lifted some of the environmental protections that we normally have on extracted gravel. We're allowing you to rebuild and put streams back the way they were. You can't go anywhere that the storm did, but in terms of rerouting streams, to extract that process, we're going to start building roads and bridges as fast as we know how. As we see, we're doing that right now on a temporary basis coming up Route 9 and all over. Second, the president will also be qualifying Windham County for individual assistance. He's already done the 4 counties that we've given him. We're going to give him Windham and Bennington and some others as soon as we get the numbers in, which we believe will be later today or early tomorrow. What that means is that for Vermonters who have lost their homes or had damage to their homes and property, that will qualify you for a $30,400 outright grant, doesn't have to be repaid, to cover damage to your home. If you have damage to your home, call 211 and report it. They'll send an assessor in, and as soon as FEMA qualifies Windham County, which should be soon, we will qualify for those funds. What does it apply to? It applies to everything that you lost in the flood. It isn't just structure. If your lawn furniture got sucked away, that's included. It also applies to cleanup costs, pumping out, paying for people to come in and pump you out, cleaning carpets. So keep receipts, take pictures, and call 211. Third, and finally, obviously, many of the power outages that remain are right here in Windham County. So we have CVPS, Green Mountain Power. They've been extraordinary. They brought teams in from all over the country, including Canada. And they're here working as fast as they know how. We think we'll have you back, everybody back in power by middle of next week, the latest, and hopefully early. So that's the update that I know about. Be happy to answer questions. So fire away, and thanks so much for